Welcome to the BearDown podcast special episode for today. Joined via Zoom remotely all the way in Fuenlabrada, Spain, the all-time winningest cat in Arizona basketball history, Dušan Ristić. Dušan, great to have you here.
Hey, what's up, Matt? It's a pleasure to be a part of your podcast. So thanks for the invite.
Hey, thanks for being our first Zoom-in one from distance. We'd love to have you here in Tucson, Dušan, but you're doing your thing in Spain, and that's why you're joining us here. And as I mentioned before, you're in Fuenlabrada, Spain, playing in the Spanish ACB league, and you're playing for a team right in the middle of Spain. What's that been like playing in Spain so far?
Yeah, the Fuenlabrada is the part of Madrid actually. So it's a small town, approximately 20-25 minutes from Madrid. And we're competing at the highest level basketball in Spain. And we started our season 2 months ago, and it's been a great experience for me. Just being in Spain, getting to know the culture and the people, and everything is amazing here. And I'm just happy and excited to be a part of this team and of this league. Of course, many people say that the Spanish league is the second best league in the world after the NBA. So it's a really a great thing to be here and compete at this level.
So you're in the ACB now, Dušan, but when you first graduated from Arizona and you moved on to your professional career, you had a couple of different stops in different leagues, Adriatic League. You played for a team in Kazakhstan. What has that whole international experience been like so far for you since you left Tucson?
Yeah, so like you said, my first professional team after Arizona was Red Star in my home country, Serbia. That's where I decided to start my professional career. That's the club where I actually grew up in, where I started playing basketball for, and that's the club where I played prior to coming to Arizona. So my first professional year I spent there. I was a part of a really good team. We had a really successful year that year. We won 3 championships that year. As a rookie, I had a lot of good players on my team, so I wasn't playing a lot of minutes. I was playing around 10 minutes per game. So for my second year, I've decided to change the team and go to a team where I'm going to have a bigger role. So my second year was in a Russian VTB league. So I played for the team from actually Kazakhstan, because the VTB league is a kind of regional league. Teams from a couple of countries compete there. So that year I spent in Astana, team called Astana from the same city, from the capital of Kazakhstan. Today, 2 years ago, the city was called Astana, and then they changed the name to Nur Sultan. That's how they call it now. So, and I had a great year there. I was one of the best players in the league. I was leading the league in rebounds, and that was a great year for my development. So after the year, unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish the season because of the Corona pandemic. So we finished the season early. I think that was March 10th when we finished the season. So then I spent the summer working out and training in Serbia. And then my third season after Arizona, I spent 6 months in Italy. I played for the team from a city called Brescia. And Brescia is, how to describe, 1 hour away from Milan. So I was in a really nice area. Really had a great time there. I played an Italian championship as well as Eurocup. And Eurocup is for some people from the States that don't follow the European basketball. It's almost like a soccer competition. In soccer, you have a Champions League and then a Europe League. So that's the Eurocup is the second basketball league that has teams from the best teams from all the European countries. So that was also a pretty high level league where I competed. And after the year, I finished the season in Russia. I came back again to the VTB league, and I played for the team Avtodor from the city named Saratov, which is pretty close to Moscow. So So I finished the season there. That was the end of my third professional year, and now this is my fourth year playing in Spain. After college, one of my goals was to get to the ACB league and play here because, like I said, it's this the second league after the NBA, the second best league after the NBA. So finally, I achieved that goal, and I just started playing for the team for Labrada. And this is my first year in Spain, and like I said, I'm very excited about it.
So you've played in a number of the top leagues throughout Europe. Have you noticed just a difference in style of play from league to league, or just in general from the college game that you came from to the European style? I feel like when you've played in a couple of these top leagues in top different countries, the style of play is probably maybe a little bit different.
Yeah, you're right. Each league has some unique things. For example, when I played in Adriatic League, Adriatic League is the league that has teams from Slovenia, Serbia, Montenegro, Croatia, and Bosnia. So the style there is pretty tough and it's pretty physical. The refs they don't call a lot of fouls, so you have to learn how to play physical. But also at the same time, it's a slow-paced league. The teams they play, the full 24 seconds offenses. They don't really. Not all the teams, but the majority of the teams they're trying to play the slower game, to outsmart the opponents. So then my second league was the VTB league, which is, I would say, right after the Spanish league quality-wise. And that league is also physical, but at the same time, it's much faster because each team has 6 foreigners, and most of the time, those foreigners come from the States. So it's pretty similar to the American style of basketball. And then ACB league here in Spain is it's probably a combination of all those things that I just mentioned. It's pretty fast, physical. Teams are really smart. The coaches really pay a lot of attention to the team tactique, and X and O's, and you have to really be able to think about basketball, think about a game, to play here, because it's not only about who's the best physically ready team, but the team that knows how to play together, and that's why actually makes the ACB league unique.
We've seen it in the American style of basketball, both collegiately and then in the NBA, of big men like yourself, 7-footers, the increasing demand and need for them to be face up and to be able to shoot threes. Is that still an ask of post players and big men like yourself in the leagues you've played in Europe?
You can definitely see that trend of a modern basketball, but also here in Europe, generally speaking, in Europe, teams are still keeping that old school type of basketball where they use 5s and sometimes even 4s as a low post players. So they play a lot of they use a lot of low post actions, and I would say it's a combination of a modern basketball and old school. So and again, all the teams are different. You have some teams that play run and gun, shoot a lot of threes, and finish their offenses in the first 10 seconds, and then you have some teams that are slow paced. They play smart. They play through their bigs, and like I said, all the teams are different. But generally speaking, it's a combination of both.
Are you still shooting threes now, or have you been more on the block since you left Tucson?
I'm trying to do what the coaches asked me to do, But also, this year in Spain, the coaches, our head coach, he gave me the green light to shoot threes. So I would say, I use mid-range shots a lot. Ever since even in Arizona, I was using those shots a lot. But here in Europe, especially, because the game is more physical, so it's not easy to play in the low post. Players here, they can use elbows, they can use knees, everything. The refs won't call a lot of fouls, so that's why I had to adjust my game. So I would say now I play a little maybe more on the perimeter, shooting from the outside. And this year, also I'm allowed to take threes, and I'm not shooting a lot of threes. I'm trying to keep the percentage high, but right now I'm somewhere around 50%, which is good. But I'm not taking a lot of threes. I'm taking like 1.5 threes per game.
So when you were here at Arizona, when you made the three or a long two, we had the Dušan celebration on the make. Is that still in the repertoire for you?
Well, my first year in Red Star in Serbia, I remember when I made the first 3-point shot after I left Arizona, and then for a split of a second, I thought about, should I make this the triangle sign again? But at that moment, it just didn't feel right. I didn't feel it. And then I decided to keep it as a part of my Arizona legacy. And I'm never using it again. And like I said, it just doesn't feel the same, man. Yeah. It brings back some different memories. So I just wanted to, leave it in retirement.
So speaking of that Arizona legacy and that you left that there in Tucson, the triangle celebration on threes, I would say your McHale farewell on senior day, your last game at McHale, was about as iconic as they come. For those who may not remember, and I'll refresh it for you, Dušan, because it's been a few years. It was a home game versus Cal, and you were at the free throw line when they subbed you out for your curtain call. I think you made the free throw. As you came out, the lifting of the jersey to reveal the undershirt, and Dušan, remember what the undershirt said? It had two sides to it, right?
Yeah.
The front said Dušan loves Tucson, right?
Are you asking me, or are you?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I mean,
yeah. No, yeah. I remember.
Yep.
The front says Dušan loves Tucson, and then on the back, Tucson, thank you.
Tucson, thank you. What gave you that idea, and what was the process of that?
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It says Arizona, thank you.
Arizona, thank you. Where did you get that idea for? I mean, I know you had 4 great years here, but that was one of the more original send-offs. Where did you get that idea from?
I mean, at that time, I just wanted to, find a way how to say thank you to all the fans, that supported me the whole 4 years that I was playing for Arizona. And then I remember I was talking to you. I think J Rock was there, Briggs was there too, and we were talking about it. And then I brought up the TJ's last, kissing the floor moment.
Yep.
And I thought about it for a second, but then told myself it's not really original, So I tried to think about something unique, and then I just thought about how about I write something on my shirt. So initially I wanted to write with a pen, with a marker, but then Briggs said, "Hey, I can make it work better for you," and then he did the rest of the job. So it's not only my work. Briggs was there to help me, and you and J Rock also gave me good advice. So all of you guys helped me to think about it, and I think it turned out pretty well in the end. And I was happy how I said thank you to all the people in McHale.
It was quite the send off for sure, Dušan, but it was I think appropriate and iconic for the career you had, what the city of Tucson, University of Arizona meant to you, but what you and your 4 years meant to everybody in McHale as well. And you played alongside some of the all-time greats in program history. You can rattle off the NBA guys, some of the college record holders, some of the big-time players at Arizona, Dušan, Ristić, alongside Lowry Markkanen, DeAndre Ayton, TJ McConnell. The list goes on. What were some of your favorite moments with those teammates, or just some of the parts you look back at now and make you smile the hardest of your time in Arizona?
Yeah, like you said, I've had a privilege to play with a lot of great players in my 4 years. Every year we had a great group of guys, really talented players that are playing, in the NBA right now. Some of them are in Europe or in other continents, playing, around the globe. And we had a lot of great memories, just winning Pac-12 championships, winning the Pac-12 tournament championships, and it's really hard for me to think about some specific moment with them. I would just say from this perspective, all those 4 years spending with them, competing with the best players in the nation, and being their teammate was a great experience for me, and I'm super grateful for that. And I also had a chance to learn from the best as well, And I think overall that made me a better player and a better person as well. I learned how to be a teammate with many different personalities, many different players, and all those experiences helped me later on in my career here in Europe. So I'm really grateful for everything that I learned in Arizona.
Now you play in some great environments. I know in the ACB and the Adriatic League, but McHale was obviously a special environment as well. I know you talked at length about when you were here how much you enjoyed it, how much it empowered you. I think was one of the words you used of it made you want to play better, made you want to play your best for the 14,000 screaming fans. What's the one part or a part of it you missed the most about playing in McHale?
Again, tough questions, man. Can't really name one thing, but I will try to be more specific as possible. It's really hard. I would say only playing in Serbia, I had the same feeling, as when I played in McHale in terms of the fans, But as you know, I told you many times, the fans in Serbia are great, borderline crazy. And the atmosphere in games is also amazing, but I've never experienced anything before like what I experienced in the McHale Center. And I would say just the whole process to going to games, going from classes to the pre-game shoot-arounds, then eating pre-game meal with everybody on the team, hang out with the teammates before the game, just warming up, feeling the people coming in the arena. Just the whole process of getting ready for the game was so special for me. And then obviously when we actually started playing games, just the support from the fans was amazing. And it's really hard to experience anything like that after college, after Arizona. But like I said, it's really hard for me just to say one thing. It's just, I would say, the combination of things that I felt during those games that I played in McHale Center.
What about just life on campus or living in Tucson? I'm sure the weather, you missed that, but anything else from your time living out here in the old Pueblo?
Yeah, a lot of things. Playing in Arizona, in Tucson is a great thing for any player that plays there. First of all, like you said, the weather is great. When you wake up, when you see the sun outside, it's an amazing. I would say a lot of when I was there, I don't want to say I didn't appreciate it, but I wasn't aware that if you live in some different environment with like a lot of cloudy days, it's completely different, So the weather was amazing. Also, the desert landscape was amazing. I love the desert and all the mountains surrounding the city. It was just because obviously in Serbia we don't have deserts, and so before I came to Arizona, I only saw those sceneries in movies, so that's why I had such a special feeling when I lived in Tucson. And also the university, I miss the university, the whole staff that was there just to help me grow as a player and also as a person and a student. And also I would say the thing that I miss the most are the people, actually, because the people in Tucson are the ones who made my experience there special, and they are the reason why I felt like I was home. I always like to say that Tucson is my second home, but when I was in Tucson, I felt like I was actually born and raised in Tucson. I didn't feel like I was a foreigner, and that goes to all the people in Tucson that made me feel that way, and I think I miss that part the most.
Now, I can point to one thing specifically that I know you miss, and it's a common question you get, a common topic when it comes around Arizona basketball, Pac-12 basketball in general, but a guy you became close friends with and one of the all-time greats, Bill Walton, still sings your praises. still the biggest champion of the Conference of Champions. But I think what most people, and I know you and I went through this kind of education process with him about he's the beacon of positivity on the air, but as far as big man in the history of the game of basketball, one of the greats. Thinking back to your time talking to him, watching his highlights, what is your biggest takeaway now that you're removed from the great Bill Walton?
Yeah, Bill is great. First of all, he's a great person, and I learned so much, from him. I remember my first year as a freshman. You weren't there. We weren't there, so we had a different SID. I forgot his name. I'm sorry for that. Maybe you remember his name.
Corey.
It was a long time ago. Corey, exactly. Corey.
Yep.
So Corey came up to me. It was a shoot around before some game. Corey came up to me and he told me, "Hey, listen, over there's Bill Walton. He's a Hall of Fame." And he started explaining to me who Bill Walton is. And I told him, "Wait a second, I know who Bill is. He's a legend. We have a huge respect for him in Serbia. All the basketball people in Serbia have a huge respect for him." And that first practice, Corey told me, "Hey, could you give us 5 minutes just to talk to Bill? He has a couple of questions for you." And I was like, "Of course." I was so happy. And I remember Bill asked me about some really basic questions about my family. I thought we were going to talk about basketball, but he actually asked me about Novi Sad, my hometown. He asked me about the name of the rivers around Novi Sad and the mountains and geographical location of Novi Sad. So he really wanted to, and also he asked me questions about my family as well. So he wanted to know more about me as a person. So he showed me the first day that he really cared about me as a person first, and then as a basketball player. And obviously, as I kept playing for Arizona, as I got used to know Bill more, he's just a unique mind. He was a great player back in the day. He even gave me a lot of advices, how to make some specific low post moves, how to create my own routine, before practices and small things like that. And I'm super grateful, that I had a chance to meet Bill and be close with him in Arizona. And also I remember my last game. He wasn't there for my last game, right? But one of the last games, when he was the commentator for the game, he wanted to it was a ESPN game, and he wanted to do a little story about me again. So we went over my family background, my obviously Serbia and Novi Sad's history and everything like that. And he also wanted me to take a picture of my family, and he put a picture on ESPN during the game. So he did a really nice thing, about my life and my career in Arizona, and I'm forever grateful for that. And yeah, please, when you see him, please tell him I said hello. So,
Will do, absolutely.
He's a great guy.
Give him your best. Now, the current team, and I know Dušan, you keep tabs on the Wildcats after you graduated, and I know you got a 8-hour time difference from here in Tucson. But we do have some European cats, some Eastern European cats from Lithuania, from Estonia, guys like Ažulis Tubelis and Kirklisa. What have you seen from them, knowing kind of they're from the general same part of the world you are, both as a player, but also tips for them or anything you can give them as far as transitioning and being in their shoes about 8-9 years ago when you first got to Arizona.
Yeah, I try to follow Arizona basketball as much as possible. Sometimes when you guys play games, it's super early in the morning here, so I can't really watch those games. But I follow the highlights and statistics and everything, and I think this year's team has a huge potential. Some of the guys, like you mentioned before, from Europe that played here in Arizona last year, I think all of them are really talented guys. All of them competed in FIBA competitions, and I think that experience helped them a lot, adjust to college basketball and American style of basketball as well. So I think they all have a great potential to be really good players, to make it to the NBA one day. And I think they're at the right place. They have everything they need in Arizona. The best coaches in the country, the best support system, everything that will make them a complete players. So I don't really have any special advice for them, because when you in a program like in Arizona, all you have to do is to listen to the coaches and people around, people who actually care about you as a player and as a person. And like I would say, my example is a testament of the fact that Arizona basketball makes actually prepares players for professional basketball. Because in all my 4 years in Arizona, I improved each year. I improved my body, my game, my understanding of the game as well. So I believe they're in the right place, and they just need to work hard, and they're gonna achieve their goals. And also, Arizona will win a lot of games if they play well. So I'm really excited about them. I'm excited about the whole team and the new coaching staff. Also, Ryan Anderson is a new member of the coaching staff.
You're getting Ryan Anderson back as a GA now.
Yeah, he was one of my best friends when I was in Arizona. So I'm really happy that he returned. If he's listening to this podcast, what's up, Ryan? Miss you a lot, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, he's a great guy, and I'm sure he will also help the younger players with his experience. Because he's seen a lot. Also, he played in Europe too. So he's going to give them a lot of advices. But like I said, this team is really talented, and I think the future is bright.
All right, Dušan. So I want to go back again, as it were, to your time here in Tucson. You were a big Netflix guy. I think the story's out there how you actually improved and learned your English better through watching Netflix with subtitles, and that was something you did. Breaking Bad, one of your favorite shows. Are we still on the Netflix? What are we watching recently? Are you still what are we binge watching or streaming now from the iPad of Dušan Ristić?
I'm still on Netflix, but not as much as I was in Arizona. I don't have a lot of free time, because we're traveling a lot. We have 2 practices per day and a lot of games. But my free time, I like to watch TV shows mostly. I don't really watch a lot of movies recently, but I have a couple of recommendations for you.
Okay, what do you got?
These are like more, I would say, not really popular shows, but they're a little going under the radar.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of. It's a Scandinavian show actually. It's called The Chestnut Man.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's a new show. It's on Netflix, and came out a couple of weeks ago, and I finished it last week, and it's pretty good. It's a crime drama, like murder mystery type of show.
Okay.
And it's really good. They're speaking a foreign language, but it's a really interesting show. It's definitely my recommendation for you, because I know what kind of shows you like. What else? I'm waiting for some for new seasons for a couple of shows. There's the Money Heist one.
Money Heist, yep.
Money Heist. Yeah, I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I watched that. I'm all caught up on that one.
Perfect. Well, that's. I'm waiting for a new season now. So actually, because some scenes were shot in Madrid.
Yeah.
So I actually went to the main locations of the main. Remember the main bank from the first season. I went there and I've seen that area, and I remember the time where we went to the Breaking Bad.
Yeah, we went to Walter White's house.
Residency. Yeah, that was super fun, and that was actually your idea, and I was it was actually an awesome experience, to be there. So what else? I'm trying.
Those are 2 good ones, dude. So I'm with you on those. I'll subscribe.
You heard of the? I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen that one. The Squid Games. The newest
Squid Games, yeah, that's very popular here. I just finished that.
I mean, it's definitely something different. It's something unique. I'm not a great fan of that show, but it's
different. Yeah.
it's different, and I would definitely recommend it to people if they don't have anything to watch. And yeah, those are the top 3 shows that I would recommend.
All right, so there's our Dušan and Ristić 3 recommendations on Netflix. Dušan, question for you: any plans to come back to Tucson anytime soon? I know it's tough with your schedule, but any return trip out here to the desert planned?
Yeah, definitely. My first year I couldn't come because our season was super long. It was only had 1 month, so the season was almost 11 months long. My first year, so I couldn't find any free time to come after my first year. Then the second year in Europe, the Corona pandemic happened, and the second year wasn't obviously possible. And last year I tried to come, but again, I felt it wasn't the right time because of the restrictions and travel problems. But for the next summer, I'm planning to come 99.9%. So I hope I will make the trip. I don't want to say 100% because it's if I learn one thing now during this pandemic is you can't plan anything long term. But I'm definitely trying to visit Tucson and all of my friends and people in Arizona. So I hope they will happen this summer of 2022.
Well, we'll look forward to it whenever you get back here at Tucson. We know you got your season underway over there in central Spain in the ACB with Fuenlabrada. So I want to thank you, Dušan, for joining us here on the BearDown podcast. Great to see you again. Great to hear from you again, all the way out there in the Madrid area. Best of luck to you this season, and we look forward to seeing you back here in Tucson whenever that happens to be.
Thank you, Matt. Like I said, it was a pleasure to be the guest for your podcast, and also I think this is you're doing this great. Just keep it up, and I'm gonna watch all of your episodes for sure.
All right, thanks, Dušan. We appreciate it. Bear down.
Bear down. Go Cats.